Hey, what's going on? YouTube, welcome Solo 730 No Stuff. Today is January 27th, Tuesday. This is episode 9, excuse me, not episode 9. This is episode 12 of my live podcast. I'm going over some AWS questions today. Should be good. Should be good. These questions, oh no. These questions are from the AWS. Well, first of all, ChatGPT made these questions up for me. I asked him for some questions for the AWS Solution Architect exam, and this is what he gave me. Let's see this. All right. Because first he gave me regular questions with no answers. I said, nah, you got to make a multiple choice. So he said, got it. Let's make the multiple choice. Which cloud model lets you manage the operating system and applications while AWS manages the infrastructure? Um, Software as a service, platform as a service, infrastructure as a service, and function as a service. Oh, I think the answer is in the question. Infrastructure as a service. But this is an interesting question, right? So, software as a service is basically like a digital download product, like Microsoft 365. When they give you the software and you don't got to create anything, the software. Infrastructure as a service is when instead of you having your own servers in your own building, you AWS manages it for you. So now it's your software, but they're hosting it um in their building. So they have all the physical structure. That's infrastructure as a service, if that makes sense. Platform as a service. Now this is where it gets tricky. Even I'm confused about the platform as a service. So I think what it is, they host they'll host like the website where you they'll host your website, but you still got to create the website. If you get what I'm saying, like let me see, like say you're making uh say I'm building a website, right? Like I build a website for my client. I'm building it on the AWS platform. So I'm building it on S3, right? I'm building it. We using what's it? CloudWatch, CloudWatch. Um, then you're still doing have Lambda on the back end. It's not CloudWatch. It's so many different cloud things in AWS. Man, they make things so complicated with all these names. But hosting it on S3, so you're still hosting your website, but you're running it on AWS. If that makes sense. So I believe that's what platform as a service is. This is really confused, but the answer is infrastructure as a service. Which cloud model lets you manage the operating system while AWS? These are more like cloud practitioner questions. When I ask these questions, I ask them with the microphone. And when you use the chat GPT that talks, it doesn't it's not chat GPT 5.2. It's not that. It's I think it's like an old model, 4 point something. If I ask the same question, if I typed it out, it will give me a more intricate scenario. Because with the solutions architect, all the questions are situational based. It won't ask, these are more cloud practitioner questions. So just know whenever you use ChatGPT, the voice function is not the same as if you're entering prompts. All right. Which AWS service distributes incoming traffic across multiple instances? Amazon S3, no, Amazon, not Amazon S3. This is like your buckets when you keep your data, and, like your memory. S3. AWS Lambda. This is serverless. So like CI, CD pipelines and stuff like that. Lambda is dope because you don't have to sit up there and babysit it. If there's changes to be made, Lambda will make the changes for you. All right, because it's serverless. It doesn't really have to be managed. You still monitor it, but it doesn't have to be managed. Amazon Route 53. This is more like with domain names and stuff like that. Domain name services. That's Route 53. So if you want to do something like solo730nostuff.com, you do that in Route 53. Elastic Load Balancer. This is the answer. Which AWS distributes incoming traffic across multiple instances? All right, multiple instances, right? So say you have EC2 instances. The Elastic Load Balancer will pretty much do what the question say. It'll distribute the incoming traffic so that this way each instance is not held down. Like say you have 10 instances and say you have 2 instances, like it'll keep it even, like it'll distribute the load 50-50. So Elastic Load Balancer, it'll keep everything balanced so that everything be running smoothly. Because if one instance is taking up 80% of the load and the other instance only taking up 20% of the load, it's not going to run smoothly. It's not going to be balanced. So you don't want that one that got holding 80% of the load to be overwhelmed. So I'm going to ask the answers and see if I was correct. But like I said, these are more like the certified cloud practitioner questions. Hold on. Wait, hold on. I can use my voice. Give me the answers to the 2 questions.
Sure. For the first question about the cloud model, the answer is C, infrastructure as a service, IaaS. For the second question about distributing traffic, the answer is D, elastic load balancer, ELB.
All right. Explain the answers to me.
Of course, for infrastructure as a service, IaaS, AWS provides the underlying hardware. Think virtual servers, networking, and storage, but you handle the operating system and applications. It's flexible, but gives you more responsibility. On the other hand, an elastic load balancer, ELB, spreads incoming traffic across multiple instances, ensuring no single server is overwhelmed. This boosts reliability and keeps your application available, even if one server fails.
Explain the difference between infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, and software as a service briefly.
Absolutely. Infrastructure as a service, or IaaS, is like renting the building blocks, virtual servers, storage, and networks. You install and manage your own operating systems and apps, giving you full control, but also more work. Platform as a service, or PaaS, gives you a ready-made environment to develop and deploy apps. You focus just on your code, while the platform handles the infrastructure, runtime, and scaling behind the scenes. Software as a service, or SaaS, is a complete product you simply use. No need to manage infrastructure or code. Think Gmail or Office 365, where you just log in and go.
Yeah, that's what I said. Office 65. That's like the perfect software as a service. All right, one more question. Give me an example of platform as a service.
A great example of PaaS is AWS Elastic Beanstalk. You just upload your code and it handles deployment, capacity, load balancing, and scaling, so you can focus purely on building your application, not managing the underlying infrastructure.
So, what would Lambda be considered?
AWS Lambda is a prime example of a function as a service, FaaS, which is a more specific subset of serverless computing. You just write individual functions and Lambda runs them in response to events. No need to manage servers, platforms, or even the runtime environment.
All right. So this is the main thing right here. The difference between infrastructure, platform as a service, and software as a service. Function as a service is not really talked about that much. But that was pretty cool. Even though the ChatGPT voice prompts is not as intricate as the regular input prompts. It's still good. Easy. See how easy that was? It still give you good information. All right. Now let's talk about something else. Tell me about the Datadog AWS GameDay event happening February 4th.
There's a Datadog and AWS GameDay event happening on Wednesday, February 4th, 2026 at 12:30 p.m. Eastern Time in New York City. It's a hands-on team workshop where participants act as site reliability engineers, solving real-time AWS incidents using Datadog's tools. It'll cover areas like serverless tracing and security, and there are prizes like Ray-Ban Meta glasses and Logitech gaming headsets.
What do I need to know before I attend this event?
Before you dive in, it'll help to be familiar with AWS fundamentals, things like EC2, Lambda, or serverless basics. You'll also want to know a bit about monitoring concepts like metrics, logs, and traces, since Datadog focuses on that. But don't stress, game days are designed for learning by doing, and you'll be on a team. Just bring curiosity, and you'll figure things out as you go.
So I decided I'm gonna start going to a lot more of these meetups and events. Of course, I'm definitely going to the AWS Summit in the summertime because this is my retirement plan, man. Retirement plan. So I gotta take it serious, man. But that's it today. I just wanted to go with some questions. It's been snowing in New York City the past 2 days. Well, Sunday and then Monday early. It stopped early Monday morning. So I can't even get my car out the driveway because the plow keep coming by, pushing the snow back against the driveway. So it's kind of like pissing me off. So and then it's like I got cabin fever. I need to go to Costco. Kind of ran out of snacks. I ran out of my storm snacks. But I did go out yesterday. But it's all good though. Anyway, thanks for watching. That's the end of this stream. I appreciate y'all for checking me out. Soto 730 knows things. Knows stuff. I'm sorry. This was episode 12. So then check me out. We're gonna keep studying. Whenever I'm like kind of like my brain get foggy, whatever, I just go back to studying for the solution architect exam. Because worst come to worst, that's always give you good information. So they talked about the different services, infrastructure as a service, broke down what platform as a service is, and software as a service. So thanks for watching. GG's. Later.